participated and conspired in this scheme by facilitating the irregular release of the 900 million Malampaya Fund to DAR and the processing of the check payments to Napoles NGOs, despite the fact that all documents pertaining to the award of said projects to the Napoles NGOs were all manufactured and fake, and the projects were all ghost projects with zero delivery. As a result of the conspiratorial acts of the DBM and DAR officials with Napoles, said conspirators pocketed the amount or total value of 900 million, supposedly intended for the, quote, relief operations, rehabilitation, reconstruction, and other works and services to areas affected by natural calamities, as mentioned in the October 13, 2009 letter of then Executive Secretary Eduardo Ermita to Secretary Rolando Andaya Jr. These acts constitute misuse, if not misappropriation and malversation of public funds, the commission of which would not have been possible were it not for the participation and consent of the concerned public officials of DBM and DAR, resulting in the accumulation of ill-gotten wealth in the form of kickbacks or commissions amounting to more than 50 million pesos with respect to Secretary Pangandaman and Ruby Tuason, again, the latter in representation of a still unidentified conspirator. We believe that the elements are present in this case. As to the participation and culpability of former President Arroyo and former Executive Secretary Ermita, the release of the SARO and the NCA would not have been possible were it not for the hastily issued EO, which invalidly liberalized the exploitation of the Malampaya Fund for purposes not contemplated by existing laws, and the latter's approval, Executive Secretary Ermita's approval, of the request for authority of Secretary Andaya. Napansin po namin na mas nauna po yung request for the authorization for the use and access to the Malampaya Fund. It was October 8, 2009. Mas nauna po dun sa pag-issue ng Executive Order 848, which was issued on October 13, 2009. So an October 8, 2009 request for authorization for the use of such fund was justified and granted on the basis of an October 13, 2009 executive order. The request exceeded the existence of the legal basis for the making of any such request in the first place. We believe that the former president and the former executive secretary used EO 848 for the approval of a request made 5 days before the issuance of the executive order. Kaya sa tingin po namin, sabit rin po sila. The lack of specificity in former President Arroyo's and former Executive Secretary Ermita's identification of the authorized purpose by which DBM can access the Malampaya Fund resulted in the almost discretionary, if not arbitrary, granting of implementing agency requests for millions of pesos in funds by the DBM without the submission of any agency work or development plan showing that the funds will actually be used for the purpose authorized by the President. This leniency of control displayed by the former President in the use of and access to an essentially presidential discretionary fund made possible the plunder of such fund, either intentionally or through gross inexcusable negligence. Doon po nag-umpisa pala, nagulat din nga po kami na yung EO 848 ay in-issue